The way you're gonna increase is, I found an easier way to increase, which is at the end of the row. Hi everyone. Fabiana here from Creative Yarn by Fabi, and today we're gonna be making this top here. It's a top with little sleeves that I saw on Pinterest and I really liked, and I'm like, I have to do this one. It's really cute and it's really, like, it was really fast to make. And so I'll be explaining to you guys how to make the little sleeves here and here, and how to make the body part of it. It's mainly 4 panels, 2 little panels for the sides and 2 bigger panels for the body. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using a very light yarn. It's almost like a baby clothing yarn, like baby clothing for summer, I think. It feels really soft and it's really thin as well. So this is the reason why I spent only like 120 grams of this yarn, which was a row and a little bit, which is pretty awesome, like really good, like, you know, you can make a lot with not much yarn. I'll be linking on the description below the yarn that I used, and the pattern I'm gonna put on knittingmachinepatterns.com on sizes extra small to medium, okay? That's because I only used 1 panel for the front and 1 for the back, so it's not a pattern for an extra large, etc., okay? Otherwise you have to make 2 panels. So to make this top, you can be using as well the cotton muffin or the mandala ombre. They are both good yarns for this kind of top as well. Or you can be using wool as well, because I saw some. I'm gonna share here the image, but I saw people like just wearing these on top of other long sleeved tops, okay? So you can be using that too. So I'll be using to make this my Sentro machine, and that's because it has a little two extra needles than the Addi machine, okay? But you can be using the Addi 46 as well if you are making a small or an extra small, no problems. So I really like this top. I think it fits really well, and it was a very quick project. It was like, I think 2 hours I made the whole project. The thing that takes a little longer is the seaming, actually, because the panels are really fast to make. And also I found another way to increase stitches that's much faster than the way I learned before. And I'm gonna be using that to make the sleeves, and I'm gonna show you how, okay? So stay with me and watch all the video all the way to the end, and I'm gonna show you how to increase this way. And also leave me your like, leave me your comment. It makes a lot of difference for me and for my growing on YouTube. And share with your friends if you know they have this, the Sentro or the Addi machine as well. Thank you for watching, guys, and let's get started. So to start this top, I'm using, as I always do, the tube mold here, as you can see, set up 2 tubes so I can use 2 extra needles, because if I use on the panel mold, I can't use that many needles because it stops, as you know. So I cast it on from number 1 to number 45, so 45 stitches to make this top. And then I'm going to make this first 4 rows with waste yarn, so it's easier to, you know, to finish, to bind off the stitches later. And before I start here, I'm gonna leave a longer tail so I can bind off the stitches on the bottom later. I learned that this way you don't need to make an extra knot on the bottom, so leave like 1 meter of yarn on the bottom before you even start the row, and then start your row. As you can see, I'm also controlling the tension with my hands, and I prefer this way because then I know the tension that I'm gonna get every time, and I don't get like different tensions along the way as well. So I'll be making 70 rows here with this yarn, and then I'm going to start that V shape for the arms that it has, okay? So after 70 rows. So now that I have 70 rows made here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this part here. As you can see, I decrease a few stitches. So I'll be decreasing one stitch every second row on both sides, okay? Because we need to make that V for the top on both sides. So when I decrease one here, I decrease on the beginning of the next row on the other side. So make 3. I'm gonna show you once. Okay, you're gonna grab the 3 first stitches with your hook, leave the 4th there, and then bring that pegs open halfway, the next one, so it's easier for you to put the stitches in. Remove the 3rd stitch, put the 2nd one in, and then put the 3rd one on top of the 2nd one, and then put the 1st one in. Okay, after you did that, make sure that 2 stitches there on the base of the 2nd peg, so otherwise you lose them, okay? And then go slowly, start this row. Finish the row and remove the yarn and repeat the same thing. So we're gonna be doing that on the beginning of each row for 6 times. So 6 stitches on every side. So we're gonna have 12 less at the end, okay? And then we're gonna make, so from where you started decreasing, which is here, let's say, you're gonna have 24 more rows, okay? So after you stop decreasing, you're still gonna make a few more rows. So count 24 from where you started decreasing stitches. And then we're gonna bind off the stitches after that, okay? So finishing my 24 rows from the marker to the top, I'm going to just remove all the stitches from the pegs, making a full row without the yarn. So I'm using a 5.5 millimeters knitting needle because I want the end of it to be, I don't want this to be tied, so I'm using a thicker needle. You can be using even 6, okay? And then what I do is I put from the bottom to the top of each stitch. So now I'm going to bind off the stitches. Okay, I'm going to just remove this first loop, then I'm gonna knit the next one, and I'm gonna put the second loop on top of the first one, on top of the second one. I always leave these loops a bit open, so to avoid the knitted part to be too tight at the end. So this is what we have after casting of the stitches. I already made the second panel, okay? The second panel is exactly the same of this one, okay? And now I'm going to show you how I made the sleeves. So I'm gonna put a sleeve here, and a sleeve on the other side as well. Okay, I'm gonna show you the sleeve now. Now to make this little sleeve, I cast on 25 stitches and I made 4 rows with waste yarn. And now I'm going to drop here, always leaving that a meter, meter plus of tail at the end, so you can bind off the stitches later. We're gonna bind off the same way we did before, and so this should be enough. Okay, so now we're gonna make 4 rows with just these 25 stitches. And for these sleeves, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start increasing stitches, because it has to go the opposite way. So you have your top like this. I'm gonna show you a little picture. So our top we just made had this shape, and so the sleeves have to have the opposite shape. So instead of decreasing, we are going to increase. So we're gonna start with 25 and we're gonna finish it off with 33 stitches at the end here, okay? Because this is gonna go under the arm, and it needs to be a bit wider, I mean, than the rest of the top. So the way you're gonna increase is, I found an easier way to increase, which is at the end of the row, you just make 1 more stitch there. See, I'm going 1 further than the one I was before. I'm actually going 2, but the second one's not gonna be made. I'm gonna be making this next one here. So that adds an extra stitch on that side. And I have to add an extra stitch on the other side too. So I'm going through 2 extra. And then on the way back, only 1 will be made, okay? So I'm going to make this every 4 rows, just so that stitch gets made properly. So I'm making 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to add 1 more again, so 2 extra. And then on the way back, that one gets made, and then have another extra stitch. And I'm going to repeat the same here. This is a very easy way to increase stitches. Okay, now I make the rows. So I'm going to be increasing all the way until I have 33 total stitches, okay? And then as well 24 rows, because remember our top here, so they have to have the same number of rows. So when we when we seam both together, they have the same size here. So yeah, we are making 24 rows for the little sleeve as well. And we're gonna bind off the same way we did before with the needles, so we can bind off the stitches straight away this way, okay? So now we are going to bind off these stitches the same way we did before, on the top and on the bottom as well. And then after that, we're gonna join all the sides together. And I'm hoping this works, because I actually never made this top before, and so it's a new project, something that I found, of course, on Pinterest, and something that you can probably wear for the summer and on the winter as well. You can make it using wool or acrylic yarn as well. I'm using a summer yarn here, but I think if you use a wool or a winter yarn, would be the same size and same number of stitches, I think, okay? So I'm just gonna bind off all the stitches on the top and on the bottom of this one, and then I'm gonna show you how I'm joining all the panels together. Now I finish seaming both sides. Love this mattress stitch. So I left here the tail that I was using before, just to start straight away on the sleeves here. So all I'm going to do really is I'm going to keep seaming the same way with the metro stitch. I'm gonna quickly show you here. Okay, so this is our little top. Now I'm going to make a full row of single crochet all around it, and that's because I like to finish it well. If you don't care about having something unfinished like this, you can wear like that, or you can even make the last row with another color, which I think is really cool as well. I might do that. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm definitely gonna make a full row with. I'm gonna start with one of these yarns that I finished seaming, and so it all looks the same at the end, as well to hide these tails. It's always good to make a single crochet row around to hide tails and things like that. Okay, I'm going to start just here, and I'm going to use this yarn here, and then make a knot and make it longer because it's not long enough. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. Single crochet row. I'm doing a full row of this. I'm gonna add another yarn there, and then after that I might decide to make another row with another color yarn. Let's see. Two rows of single crochet here at the end, as you can see, to avoid the curling of this top. And as well started the metro stitch a bit further up, like leaving a few rows on the bottom here, so I could have this side a little open like that, so it fits better on the waist, because that's the widest part of the body.